Welcome to another fascinating journey into the world of coins and history. Today, we're exploring a small yet remarkable treasure, the 1945 wheat penny with a D mint mark, a coin that carries not just monetary value, but a deep connection to one of the most defining eras in American history. Though it may appear as a simple copper coin in circulated condition, this little piece of metal tells a story of resilience, craftsmanship, and change. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, officially known as the Lincoln Cent, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it replaced the Indian head cent and quickly became a favorite among Americans. The wheat ears on the reverse symbolized prosperity and growth, fitting themes for a nation always looking forward. The 1945 D wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D below the date on the obverse side. During this time, the world was emerging from the devastation of World War II. In the United States, the economy was shifting from wartime production to peacetime rebuilding, and even small coins like this one reflected the era's materials and craftsmanship. Composed primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the 1945 D wheat penny retained its rich reddish-brown hue when freshly minted. However, in circulated condition, that color changes dramatically. Over decades of use, exposure, and handling, most 1945 D pennies developed a darker brown or soft chocolate tone, sometimes with subtle traces of red or orange, showing the natural oxidation of copper. When we look at a circulated 1945 D penny today, the coin's wear tells its story. The raised details of Lincoln's portrait often appear smoothed out, especially around the cheekbone and jawline. The "In God We Trust" motto and the Liberty inscription may show signs of fading, while the date and mint mark remain faint but still legible, silent witnesses to decades of circulation through millions of hands. On the reverse side, the iconic two wheat stalks curve gracefully around the edges, framing the bold 1 cent inscription in the center. Over time, the fine details of the wheat ears often become worn, merging into the background. Yet, even in circulated condition, this simple design remains timeless, a reminder of American craftsmanship and simplicity. In 1945, the Denver Mint produced 266,268,000 wheat pennies, making this a relatively common issue. Still, each coin holds unique characteristics. Minor variations in color, luster, and surface wear make every example distinct. Collectors often admire the rich history behind these coins more than their rarity, as they represent an era when everyday objects carried deep meaning. The end of World War II in 1945 marked a turning point for the United States and the world. Millions of servicemen returned home, factories shifted from weapons to consumer goods, and optimism filled the air. These little copper coins passed through the hands of returning soldiers, factory workers, and families rebuilding their lives, making the 1945 D penny not just currency, but a symbol of hope and resilience. Collectors often categorize circulated 1945 D wheat pennies based on condition: good, fine, very fine, or extremely fine. In well-worn examples, the details are soft, and the color tends toward deep brown. In better preserved circulated pieces, the coin still retains some luster, with visible wheat lines and a sharper portrait of Lincoln. The beauty of these coins lies not in perfection, but in the stories their surfaces carry. Under a magnifying glass, the circulated 1945 D penny reveals its life journey. Tiny scratches and contact marks from years of use become visible, traces of pockets, cash registers, and countless exchanges. The smoothness on Lincoln's face or the flattening of the wheat stalks gives us clues about how long the coin stayed in active circulation before being tucked away by a collector or rediscovered decades later. Despite being common, the 1945 D wheat penny remains one of the most beloved coins among beginner collectors. Its affordable price and historical significance make it a perfect starting point for those entering the world of numismatics. Even in circulated condition, it holds sentimental and educational value. Many collectors cherish the D mint mark as part of the larger narrative of U.S. mint production. The Denver Mint, established in the early 20th century, became a key facility for producing high-quality coinage, especially during wartime years when demand for currency was enormous. The 1945 D penny reflects the craftsmanship and efficiency of this historic mint. Color plays a major role in determining the visual appeal of circulated wheat pennies. A naturally aged copper tone, ranging from deep chocolate to reddish brown, can give the coin a warm and classic look. Artificial cleaning, however, can strip away its natural patina, reducing both beauty and collector value. That's why experts always recommend leaving the surface untouched, preserving its original character. When examining the 1945 D penny under good lighting, you might notice subtle shades of red-brown or olive-brown, depending on how it has aged. Each coin is like a fingerprint. No two are exactly alike. Some pieces develop attractive toning from storage conditions, such as soft violet or golden hues, adding to their charm. In circulated condition, the edges of the 1945 D penny often show rounding, especially from heavy use. The rim may have nicks or dents, but these imperfections add to the story of its journey. It's amazing to think that a single coin might have passed through countless hands during the 1940s, 1950s, and beyond, used to buy newspapers, candies, or even to fill piggy banks. Numismatically speaking, circulated 1945 D wheat pennies hold modest market value, usually between a few cents to a few dollars depending on eye appeal and grade. However, pristine uncirculated or error varieties can command higher prices. Some rare examples with striking errors, such as double dies or repunched mint marks, have fetched impressive sums among collectors. Even so, for most enthusiasts, the real worth of the 1945 D penny isn't monetary, it's historical. Holding one feels like holding a fragment of the past, a tangible connection to the post-war generation that built the modern world we know today. Its surface may be worn, but its significance shines bright. The Lincoln Wheat series ended in 1958, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design the following year. Yet, the wheat reverse remains a nostalgic favorite. Collectors and history lovers continue to admire these earlier designs for their artistry and the stories they tell about America's evolution through the 20th century. If you look closely at your 1945 D penny, imagine where it's been. Perhaps it jingled in the pockets of a soldier returning from Europe, or maybe it was handed over at a diner during the booming years of the 1950s. Every mark and scratch could be a silent witness to an untold story. When placed beside modern coins, the 1945 D penny feels like a relic from another time, smaller, darker, and more personal. Its design carries warmth and humanity, much like Lincoln himself, whose image reminds us of leadership, perseverance, and compassion during times of great challenge. For anyone starting a coin collection, the 1945 D wheat penny serves as a gateway into history. It teaches patience, attention to detail, and appreciation for the artistry hidden in everyday objects.